There is a power that guides us through every moment of our lives. It is the quiet, gentle force that whispers in our hearts when we feel lost, the divine presence that tells us everything will be all right, even when we cannot yet see the path ahead. This power, this guiding light, is always with us. It never leaves us, and it is always working for our highest good. But oh, how often we forget. In moments of doubt, we feel abandoned, lost in the chaos of life's challenges. We ask, why is this happening to me? Why now? But the truth is, the answers are always there, waiting for us to pause, breathe, and listen. Every delay, every obstacle, every setback is part of a much greater plan, one that we may not fully understand at the moment, but is always leading us toward our greatest good. Trusting in God's timing requires patience, a kind of patience that goes beyond the surface and sinks deep into the soul. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't happen according to our schedule. We live in a world that pushes us to rush, to want everything instantly, but God's timing doesn't work that way. God sees the bigger picture, and what may feel like a delay is often a necessary part of the process. It is in these moments of waiting, of uncertainty, that we grow the most. When you trust that God will make a way, you are surrendering to the wisdom that knows better than your human mind. You are opening yourself to the possibilities that exist beyond what you can see. Even when the road seems blocked, trust that a way is being cleared for you, perhaps not in the way you expect, but in the way that is meant for you. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil. It is dark, and it may seem like nothing is happening, but underneath, miracles are unfolding. The roots are spreading, the seed is growing, and soon enough, it will break through the surface into the light. This is how faith works. Even in moments of darkness, trust that God is working behind the scenes, aligning everything in your favor. The breakthrough will come when the time is right, when you are ready, and not a moment before. Sometimes what we desire seems so far away, as if it's not meant for us. But trust, dear heart, that what is meant for you will never miss you. When you release the need to control the outcome and instead place your faith in divine timing, life begins to flow. You stop resisting and start allowing. You begin to live in harmony with the universe, knowing that everything is happening as it should. And when the way is revealed, it will be clearer, brighter, and more beautiful than anything you could have imagined. The doors will open, the right people will come into your life, and everything will fall into place with such grace that you will know, without a doubt, that it was meant to be. So in times of uncertainty, breathe deeply. Surrender your fears, your doubts, your need for control. Trust that God is making a way for you, even if you cannot see it yet. Know that you are exactly where you are meant to be, and that everything is unfolding in perfect divine timing. You are loved, you are guided, and the path before you is being cleared. God will make a way always. Trust is one of the most profound and transformative forces we can embrace in life. It goes beyond the surface level understanding of relying on someone or something. Trust is a deep inner knowing that regardless of the circumstances or the challenges we face, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. It is a recognition that even in the most uncertain moments, there is a greater plan at work, one that is guided by an intelligence far beyond our comprehension. To trust is to release the need to control. We often try to dictate every aspect of our lives, holding tightly to our plans, our desires, and our expectations. We think we know what's best for us, so we map out every detail, anticipating how life should unfold. But life, in its infinite wisdom, has its own way of guiding us to where we truly need to be. And sometimes that journey looks different from what we envisioned. Trust requires letting go of this need to micromanage every detail of our lives. It means understanding that while we can set intentions and take action, we cannot always control the timing, the process, or the outcome. Trust is about surrendering the need for certainty and stepping into the unknown with confidence that we are being held by something far greater than ourselves. When we truly trust, we tap into a deep sense of peace. This peace doesn't come from knowing all the answers or having everything figured out. Instead, it comes from the assurance that no matter what happens, we are exactly where we are meant to be. Trust allows us to release fear and anxiety, for it assures us that the universe is always working for our highest good, even when we cannot see it. Trust doesn't guarantee that life will always be easy or that we will never face challenges. But it does guarantee that, through it all, we will be supported and guided. In moments of difficulty, it can be hard to trust. When things aren't going our way, or when life feels uncertain, we often fall into doubt. We question why things are happening the way they are, and we wonder if we're on the right path. This is where trust becomes even more essential. Trust isn't about having faith only when everything is going well. It's about holding on to that faith even in the darkest of times. It's about knowing that even when the road ahead seems unclear, there is a path being laid out for us. We may not be able to see it yet, but trust tells us it's there, waiting to be revealed in its perfect timing. One of the most challenging aspects of trust is the element of patience. We live in a world that values instant gratification, where we expect things to happen quickly and easily. But trust requires patience. It requires us to sit in the unknown and wait for the right moment to unfold. This waiting period can be uncomfortable. Our minds like to jump to conclusions, to assume the worst, or to create stories about why things aren't happening the way we want them to. But in these moments, we are being called to strengthen our trust. We are being asked to remember that just because we cannot see progress doesn't mean that progress isn't being made. Trust teaches us that everything happens in its own time. It reminds us that delays aren't denials, they are often necessary pauses that allow things to align in ways we may not understand. Sometimes what we desire is on its way to us, but there are pieces of the puzzle that need to come together first. There are lessons we need to learn or growth that needs to occur before we can fully receive what we're asking for. Trust reminds us that we are always in the right place at the right time and that everything is happening for our benefit, even when it doesn't seem like it. In trusting, we learn to let go of our attachment to specific outcomes. Often we have a vision of how we think things should unfold, and we become fixated on that vision. But trust invites us to release this fixation and open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities that exist beyond what we can imagine. When we trust, we are no longer limited by our own expectations. Instead, we allow the universe to work its magic, knowing that what is meant for us will always find its way to us, often in ways more beautiful and perfect than we could have ever planned. Trust also teaches us to embrace the present moment. When we are constantly worrying about the future or replaying the past, we miss the beauty of what's happening right now. Trust brings us back to the present, reminding us that this moment is all we truly have. It encourages us to make the most of where we are, rather than getting lost in where we think we should be. When we trust, we understand that everything we need is already within us, and that the answers we seek will come in time when we are ready to receive them. To cultivate trust is to cultivate a relationship with the unknown. It is about developing a sense of faith that goes beyond logic or reason, a faith that resides deep within our hearts. This faith tells us that we are never alone, that we are always being guided, and that there is a purpose to everything we experience. Trust is an invitation to live with an open heart, to embrace uncertainty with grace, and to know that no matter what, we are supported by a divine presence that wants nothing but the best for us. Ultimately, trust is a choice. It is a choice we make every day, in every moment. We can choose to live in fear, constantly doubting and questioning the path ahead, or we can choose to trust. We can choose to believe that life is happening for us, not to us. We can choose to let go of the need to control and instead embrace the flow of life, knowing that we are always being carried to where we are meant to be. Trust is not something we need to earn or prove. It is our birthright. It is the natural state of being that we are all meant to live in. When we trust, we align ourselves with the rhythm of the universe, and life begins to unfold with ease and grace. We stop resisting and we start allowing. And in this space of allowing, miracles happen. Paths that were once hidden become clear. Doors that were once closed begin to open, and life takes on a new sense of purpose and meaning. So trust, not just in the good times, but in every moment. Trust that you are always being guided, always being supported, and that the universe is conspiring in your favor. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even when it doesn't feel that way. And most of all, trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Right here, right now. Divine timing is a concept that asks us to surrender our sense of control and trust in a higher power, knowing that everything in life unfolds exactly as it should. It is a reminder that no matter how much we plan, push, or strive, there is an order to the universe far beyond what we can see or understand. Divine timing teaches us that things happen not when we want them to, but when they are meant to at the perfect time, in the perfect way, for our highest good. One of the most difficult lessons we can learn in life is patience. We often feel like we are racing against time, wanting everything to happen immediately, especially when it comes to our desires, goals, and dreams. We make plans, set deadlines, and expect life to follow our timeline. But divine timing requires us to let go of this need for immediacy. It challenges us to trust that there is a rhythm to life, one that is much wiser than our own human schedules. When we grasp for control, we are often operating from a place of fear. Fear tells us that if things don't happen now, they may never happen. Fear tells us that delays mean we are off course, that we're missing out or being left behind. But divine timing asks us to trust that delays are not denials. They are part of a greater process. There is always a reason for why things happen when they do, even if we can't see it in the moment. Sometimes what feels like a delay is actually a gift and opportunity for us to grow, learn, or prepare in ways we hadn't considered. Think about a seed planted in the ground. We don't expect it to sprout the next day or bear fruit immediately. We understand that it takes time for the seed to germinate, for roots to grow, and for the plant to reach the surface. In the same way, divine timing allows things to develop in the unseen realms, far beyond our awareness. Just because we can't see progress doesn't mean that nothing is happening. There is so much that occurs beneath the surface before we see the results. The universe is working behind the scenes, aligning people, events, and opportunities in ways that are often beyond our comprehension. When we trust in divine timing, we begin to live with a sense of peace. We no longer feel the need to rush or force things to happen. We understand that the universe operates in perfect harmony, and that everything has its season. Some seasons are for planting, some for growing, and some for harvesting. Each season serves a purpose, and none can be skipped or rushed. Divine timing teaches us that there is value in every phase of the journey, not just in the outcome. It encourages us to embrace where we are, rather than constantly striving to be somewhere else. At times, divine timing can be frustrating. We may feel like we're doing everything right, working hard, and yet things don't seem to be moving forward. In those moments, it's easy to question the process, to doubt whether what we're striving for will ever come to pass. But divine timing asks us to remain steadfast in our faith. It reminds us that just because we don't see immediate results doesn't mean we're not making progress. Sometimes the most significant growth happens in the quiet moments when nothing seems to be happening. It's during these times that we are being prepared for what's to come. Often when we look back on our lives, we can see the wisdom of divine timing in hindsight. We realize that certain things needed to happen first in order for other events to unfold. Relationships, jobs, or opportunities that didn't work out at the time may have paved the way for something better down the road. The things we once saw as obstacles or failures were actually stepping stones leading us to where we needed to be. Divine timing is always working in our favor, even when we don't realize it at the moment. Divine timing also teaches us to let go of the need to control outcomes. We may have a specific vision for how we want our lives to unfold, but life often has different plans for us, plans that are more aligned with our true purpose and growth. When we cling too tightly to our own timelines and expectations, we limit ourselves. We close off the possibility of something greater than we imagined. But when we trust in divine timing, we open ourselves up to the magic of life. We allow the universe to bring us what is truly meant for us, in ways that are often far beyond what we could have planned. This concept doesn't mean that we should sit back and do nothing, waiting passively for things to happen. Divine timing works in partnership with our actions and intentions. We are co-creators with the universe, and our role is to show up fully, do the work, and take steps toward our goals. But once we've done our part, we must release the need to control the outcome and trust that the universe will take care of the rest. There is a balance between action and surrender, between effort and trust. Sometimes divine timing brings things into our lives when we least expect them. Opportunities may appear suddenly out of nowhere when we are not even looking for them. This is another reminder of the wisdom of divine timing. What is meant for us will never miss us. It may not arrive according to our schedule, but it will arrive when the time is right. And when it does, we will be ready to receive it, because we will have grown, learned, and evolved in the process. There is also a sense of freedom that comes with trusting in divine timing. When we let go of the need to control everything, we release ourselves from the burden of constantly worrying about the future. We no longer feel the pressure to make things happen according to a strict timeline. Instead, we live in the flow of life, trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This doesn't mean that we won't face challenges or setbacks, but it does mean that we can navigate them with a sense of calm, knowing that even the difficulties serve a purpose. Divine timing encourages us to be present in the moment. When we are constantly focused on the future, we miss the beauty of what is happening right now. Trusting in divine timing allows us to savor each step of the journey, to appreciate where we are even as we move toward where we want to be. It reminds us that life is not just about reaching the destination, it's about experiencing the fullness of the journey along the way. Divine timing is about faith. It's about trusting that the universe has our best interests at heart, even when we can't see the full picture. It's about believing that everything is happening for us, not to us, and that each moment is part of a greater plan. When we align ourselves with divine timing, we live in harmony with the flow of life. We stop resisting and start allowing. We stop forcing and start trusting. And in that space of trust, we find peace, joy, and fulfillment beyond what we could have ever imagined. The universe is always conspiring in our favor, and divine timing is its way of guiding us to where we need to be. All we need to do is trust the process, let go of our need to control, and allow life to unfold in its own beautiful, perfect way. God's plan is an idea that brings comfort, hope, and a sense of purpose to those who believe that their lives are guided by a higher power. It is the belief that God has a divine blueprint for each of us, a plan that unfolds in its own time, often in ways we do not fully understand. This plan is not random or arbitrary, it is purposeful, designed for our growth, happiness, and ultimate fulfillment. Trusting in God's plan means recognizing that our lives have meaning beyond the surface of day-to-day experiences, and that every event, whether joyful or painful, serves a higher purpose. One of the most powerful aspects of God's plan is that it reminds us that we are not alone. No matter what we are going through, no matter how difficult or uncertain our circumstances, there is a greater force at work behind the scenes, guiding and supporting us. Life can sometimes feel overwhelming, and we may find ourselves questioning why certain things happen the way they do. But trusting in God's plan requires us to surrender those questions and have faith that there is a reason, even if we cannot see it in the moment. When we talk about God's plan, we are also talking about the idea of surrender. Surrendering to God's plan doesn't mean giving up or resigning ourselves to whatever happens. Rather, it is about releasing the need to control every aspect of our lives and trusting that God knows what is best for us. It is about believing that the challenges and setbacks we face are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. We may not always understand why things happen the way they do, but in time we often look back and see that those very challenges were what shaped us into who we are meant to become. God's plan is not always easy to accept, especially when life throws unexpected hardships our way. We might ask, why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? These are natural questions when we face pain or adversity. But within God's plan, there is often a lesson or a blessing hidden in those difficult moments. Sometimes God allows us to go through challenges not to punish us, but to strengthen us. These are moments of transformation, where we learn patience, resilience, and compassion qualities that we may not have developed otherwise. Trusting in God's plan also means letting go of the need for immediate answers. In a world where we are accustomed to quick solutions and instant gratification, waiting for clarity or resolution can be incredibly difficult. But God's plan operates on a divine timeline, not ours. There are times when we must be patient and trust that God is working things out for our good, even when it doesn't seem like it. Often the answers or breakthroughs we seek come when we least expect them, at exactly the right time, when we are truly ready to receive them. One of the most profound aspects of God's plan is that it is uniquely tailored to each individual. No two journeys are exactly the same. What God has planned for one person may be completely different from what He has planned for another. This means that we cannot compare our lives or our progress to anyone else's. God's plan for us is personal, designed specifically for our own growth, healing, and purpose. It is a reminder that we are each special in the eyes of God, and that our lives have value even when we feel lost or insignificant. There are times when God's plan may lead us down paths we never expected to take. We might have dreams and goals that seem perfectly reasonable to us, but God may have something else in store. When life doesn't go according to our plans, it can be frustrating and confusing. But often those detours are actually leading us towards something greater than we could have ever imagined. God's plan is not limited by our human understanding, it is expansive, full of possibilities beyond our comprehension. Sometimes what we perceive as failure or disappointment is actually a redirection, a way of steering us towards something better aligned with our true purpose. God's plan also encompasses the people we meet and the relationships we form. Sometimes people enter our lives for a specific reason, to help us grow or to teach us something important. At other times, people may leave our lives, and while this can be painful, it is also part of God's plan. Each person we encounter is part of a larger tapestry, weaving together the lessons, love, and experiences that shape who we are. In trusting God's plan, we begin to see that every interaction has meaning, every relationship serves a purpose, and every connection is part of a divine design. Another important aspect of God's plan is the role of free will. God gives us the freedom to make choices, to act according to our own desires and intentions. However, even when we make mistakes or take paths that lead us away from God, His plan is still at work. God's grace allows us to return to the path He has set for us, no matter how far we may stray. This is a profound reminder that nothing we do can separate us from God's love or from the plan He has for us. Even when we make decisions that seem to delay or disrupt our progress, God is always there, ready to guide us back to where we are meant to be. Sometimes God's plan includes waiting. Waiting can be one of the most challenging aspects of faith. We might pray for something and feel like our prayers are going unanswered. But in those moments of waiting, God is often preparing us for what's to come. The waiting period is not wasted time. It is a time of growth, a time when our faith is strengthened and our trust in God deepens. Waiting teaches us patience and humility, reminding us that we are not in control, but that God is, and His timing is perfect. There is also comfort in knowing that God's plan is rooted in love. Everything God does is out of love for us. Even when we face difficulties, God's love is present, guiding us through. He does not abandon us in our struggles. Instead, He walks with us, carrying us when we cannot carry ourselves. His plan is always for our good, even when it doesn't feel that way in the moment. When we trust in God's plan, we can rest in the assurance that we are always loved, always supported, and always supported by a higher power that knows what we need better than we do. Trusting in God's plan brings a sense of peace. When we stop trying to control every detail of our lives and surrender to God's will, we find freedom. We no longer have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders because we know that God is in control. This doesn't mean that life will always be easy or that we won't face challenges, but it does mean that we can face those challenges with a sense of calm, knowing that God has a plan for us. This peace comes from the deep understanding that we are exactly where we are meant to be, and that everything in our lives is unfolding according to God's perfect timing and purpose. God's plan is a profound source of hope and faith. It reminds us that our lives are not random, that we are not alone, and that everything we experience has meaning. It encourages us to trust, to be patient, and to surrender our need for control, knowing that God's love is guiding us every step of the way. Guidance, particularly in the context of faith and spirituality, serves as a profound and comforting concept. It refers to the subtle and often unseen ways in which we are directed, protected, and supported throughout our lives. It is the belief that a higher power such as God is continuously offering us help, showing us the way, and providing us with clarity when we need it most. Trusting in guidance means accepting that we are not navigating life on our own, but that we are being led even when we are unaware of it. One of the most beautiful aspects of guidance is that it often appears in unexpected forms. It might come through a quiet feeling or intuition, nudging us toward a decision or away from a path that no longer serves us. At other times, guidance can show up through the words of a friend, the pages of a book, or even through a challenge that forces us to rethink our approach. When we are open to receiving guidance, we begin to notice that it can arrive at any moment in ways both large and small. Guidance is inherently linked to trust. To fully benefit from guidance, we must trust that the direction we are being shown is in our best interest, even when it may not make sense in the moment. Sometimes we are guided down paths that feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable. These paths may challenge our sense of security, pushing us out of our comfort zones. However, it is often in these moments of discomfort that the most significant growth occurs. Trusting the guidance we receive means believing that there is wisdom in the journey, even if the destination is unclear. It is important to remember that guidance doesn't always come with loud fanfare or dramatic signs. In fact, it is often quiet and subtle, requiring us to cultivate stillness and attentiveness in order to recognize it. In today's fast-paced world, it can be easy to miss these gentle nudges if we are caught up in the noise and distractions of daily life. Taking time to slow down, practice mindfulness, or engage in prayer or meditation can help us attune to the guidance that is always available to us. It is in these moments of stillness that we can hear the whispers of our soul and the divine direction that is being offered. For many people, seeking guidance from God is an act of prayer. Prayer is not just about asking for what we want, but also about listening for answers, direction, and insight. When we pray for guidance, we open ourselves up to receiving divine wisdom, trusting that God will illuminate the way forward. However, the answers we seek may not come immediately, and they may not always be what we expect. This is where faith comes in, believing that the guidance we need will arrive at the right time, in the right form, even if it takes longer than we would like. Another important aspect of guidance is the idea of surrender. Sometimes we resist the guidance we are given because it doesn't align with our own plans or desires. We might want to take a certain path, pursue a specific goal, or cling to a situation that feels comfortable, even if it's no longer right for us. But when we surrender to the guidance we receive, we allow ourselves to be led in the direction that is truly best for us, even if it requires letting go of our preconceived notions. This surrender is not a sign of weakness, but of strength, as it demonstrates our trust in the greater wisdom of God's plan. The beauty of guidance is that it is always available, no matter where we are in life or what we are going through. Even when we feel lost or uncertain, there is guidance waiting for us if we are willing to open our hearts and listen. Often we may feel like we are wandering without direction, unsure of the next steps to take. But during these times, it is important to remember that we are never truly lost. We are simply in the process of discovering the guidance that is meant for us. It is in these moments of uncertainty that we are invited to deepen our faith and trust that clarity will come when the time is right. Another powerful aspect of guidance is the way it connects us to our inner wisdom. While divine guidance may come from external sources through people, signs, or circumstances, it also often arises from within. We each have an inner compass, a deep sense of knowing, that can guide us if we take the time to listen to it. This inner wisdom is often aligned with the guidance we receive from God, as it is through our connection to the divine that we are able to access this deeper sense of truth. By tuning into our inner guidance, we can make decisions that are in alignment with our highest good and the path that has been laid out for us. It's also important to recognize that guidance can come in phases. Sometimes we are given only a small piece of the puzzle, a single step to take rather than the full picture. This can be frustrating, especially when we are eager to know the entire plan. But guidance often comes one step at a time, asking us to trust in the process and take action based on the information we have in the moment. As we continue to follow the guidance we receive, more of the path is revealed to us. It's like walking through a fog, where we can only see a few feet ahead, but with each step the path becomes clearer. Guidance also invites us to embrace flexibility and adaptability. Life is constantly changing, and what may have been the right direction for us at one point may no longer be the best path. As we grow and evolve, the guidance we receive may shift, encouraging us to take a different approach or explore new opportunities. When we are open to this shifting guidance, we allow ourselves to move with the flow of life rather than resisting it. Flexibility in following guidance allows us to align more fully with the divine timing and purpose that is unfolding in our lives. Guidance is a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. When we receive guidance, it is not just for our benefit, but for the greater good of those around us. Our actions, decisions, and choices have a ripple effect, influencing the people we encounter and the world we live in. By following the guidance we receive, we are not only aligning with our own path, but we are also contributing to the greater tapestry of life. This interconnectedness reminds us that we are all part of something larger than ourselves, and that the guidance we receive is part of a divine plan that encompasses all of creation. Guidance is a powerful force that is always available to us. It is the divine direction that helps us navigate the complexities of life, offering us clarity, support, and wisdom when we need it most. By trusting in this guidance, surrendering to its wisdom, and remaining open to its many forms, we can move through life with greater confidence and peace, knowing that we are always being led toward our highest good. Patience is one of the most powerful virtues we can cultivate in life. It serves as a quiet strength, allowing us to endure challenges, wait for the right moment, and trust in the unfolding of our experiences. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how we wait. It's about cultivating a sense of peace and acceptance during moments of uncertainty when the things we desire or hope for haven't yet materialized. It's the recognition that things don't always happen according to our timeline, but that everything will unfold as it should in due time. The essence of patience is deeply intertwined with trust in ourselves, in the process of life, and in the divine timing that governs all things. When we lack patience, we often become anxious, frustrated, and restless, trying to force outcomes or push things to happen before they are ready. In contrast, when we embrace patience, we understand that forcing outcomes can often lead to disappointment or unintended consequences. There's a wisdom in stepping back, taking a deep breath, and allowing things to unfold naturally, knowing that what is meant for us will arrive at the perfect time. Patience invites us to live in the present moment. So often impatience stems from a desire to rush into the future, to reach a particular destination, or to achieve a certain result as quickly as possible. In doing so, we miss the beauty and lessons that exist in the present. When we practice patience, we shift our focus from an anxious fixation on the future to a more grounded and mindful appreciation of the present. We begin to recognize that every step along the journey is valuable, and that even the waiting has a purpose. By staying present, we create the space for personal growth, self-reflection, and deeper understanding. At its core, patience is an act of surrender. It's an acknowledgement that while we can set intentions, take action, and strive toward our goals, there are forces at play beyond our control. It's about recognizing that we cannot always determine the when or the how of the outcomes we desire, but we can trust that life or God has its own timeline. This surrender does not mean giving up on our dreams or desires, but rather letting go of the need to control every detail of how they manifest. It means releasing the anxiety that comes with wanting everything to happen immediately and learning to trust that things are unfolding exactly as they should, even if we can't see it in the moment. Patience also teaches us resilience. In life we encounter obstacles, delays, and challenges that test our resolve. These experiences are often frustrating, but they also offer an opportunity for growth. When we practice patience, we build emotional and mental strength. We learn how to cope with disappointment, how to navigate setbacks, and how to maintain hope even when the path ahead seems unclear. Through patience, we develop the resilience needed to persevere, knowing that setbacks are not the end of the road, but simply a part of the journey. With time, we come to understand that patience allows us to weather the storms of life with grace. An important element of patience is the ability to delay gratification. In a world that often emphasizes instant results, patience teaches us the value of waiting. It reminds us that not everything of worth comes quickly or easily. Some of the most meaningful achievements, relationships, and experiences take time to develop. The process of waiting and working towards something over time builds character, deepens appreciation, and makes the eventual reward all the more fulfilling. When we delay gratification, we strengthen our ability to stay focused on long-term goals rather than being distracted by short-term desires or immediate pleasures. Patience, however, is not passive. It does not mean sitting idly by, waiting for life to happen to us. Instead, it's an active state of being, a conscious choice to remain calm, composed, and trusting even in the face of delays or difficulties. It involves cultivating a sense of faith that while we may not have all the answers right now, we are on the right path, and the answers will come when the time is right. Patience also requires us to stay engaged with the process, continuing to take steps toward our goals, even if the results aren't immediate. It's about finding a balance between action and surrender, knowing when to move forward and when to wait. The beauty of patience is that it also enhances our relationships with others. In our interactions with people, impatience can lead to misunderstandings, frustration, and conflict. When we are quick to judge or expect immediate responses, we may overlook the complexities of other people's lives and experiences. Patience allows us to approach relationships with more compassion, understanding, and empathy. It gives us the ability to listen fully, to give others the space they need, and to allow relationships to develop at their own pace. In this way, patience fosters deeper connections and more harmonious interactions. Patience also nurtures self-compassion. Just as we must be patient with others, we must learn to be patient with ourselves. Growth, healing, and self-improvement are processes that take time, and it's easy to become frustrated with ourselves when we don't see immediate progress. But patience reminds us to be gentle with ourselves, to honor our own journey, and to recognize that personal transformation doesn't happen overnight. By practicing patience, we create the space for our own evolution, allowing ourselves to make mistakes, learn from them, and continue moving forward without harsh self-judgment. In the realm of spirituality, patience is often seen as a virtue that aligns us with divine timing. When we trust in a higher power, we understand that the timing of events in our lives is part of a larger plan. This perspective shifts our understanding of delays and obstacles, helping us see them not as setbacks, but as opportunities for growth, learning, and preparation. Patience, in this sense, is an act of faith, believing that there is a greater wisdom at work, and that everything is happening for our highest good, even if we can't see the full picture. Patience cultivates a sense of inner peace. When we let go of the need to rush through life, we create space for stillness, reflection, and acceptance. This inner calm allows us to move through life with more ease and grace, trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. Patience helps us release the tension and anxiety that often accompany impatience, replacing it with a deeper sense of peace and contentment. We begin to realize that life is not a race, but a journey, and that there is beauty in the waiting, as much as there is in the arrival. Patience is a profound and transformative quality that touches every aspect of our lives. It invites us to slow down, trust the process, and embrace the journey even when the outcome is uncertain. By cultivating patience, we strengthen our ability to navigate life's challenges, enhance our relationships, and deepen our connection to ourselves and the divine. Through patience, we learn that life unfolds in its own time, and that by trusting in this timing, we can find peace, joy, and fulfillment along the way. A breakthrough is often seen as a moment of great realization, change, or progress, but it's much more than that. It represents a pivotal shift, a moment when everything that has been building finally comes together. and what seemed impossible suddenly becomes achievable. Breakthroughs come in various forms, whether they are personal, spiritual, professional, or emotional, and they often occur after periods of struggle, uncertainty, or stagnation. These moments of clarity or achievement can reshape our perception, help us transcend our limitations, and propel us toward new levels of understanding and growth. The process leading to a breakthrough is rarely easy. It often involves frustration, moments of doubt, and a sense of being stuck or hitting a wall. But it's important to recognize that this struggle is a necessary part of the journey. The very challenges and obstacles we face are what prepare us for that moment of revelation. Much like how diamonds are formed under pressure, breakthroughs often arise when we've been tested and pushed to our limits. The key is to remain patient and persistent, trusting that the breakthrough will come in its own time, even when we can't yet see the way forward. Breakthroughs are not just external achievements or visible successes, they often start as internal shifts. Before we experience tangible changes in our lives, we first need to undergo a mental or emotional transformation. This might involve letting go of limiting beliefs, embracing a new perspective, or developing a deeper level of self-awareness. In fact, some of the most profound breakthroughs occur in the realm of our own mindset. When we change how we think and feel about ourselves and our circumstances, we open up new possibilities for growth and success. It's in this internal shift that true breakthroughs are born. One of the most powerful aspects of a breakthrough is that it often occurs when we least expect it. We might spend weeks, months, or even years working toward a goal or searching for an answer, feeling as though we're making little progress. And then suddenly something clicks. It's as if a door that was once locked has finally opened, and we are able to step through to the other side. This moment of clarity or success can feel almost magical, but it's important to remember that it is the result of all the hard work and perseverance that came before it. A breakthrough may seem sudden, but it is always the culmination of effort, patience, and persistence. Another important aspect of breakthroughs is that they are deeply personal. What represents a breakthrough for one person may not hold the same significance for someone else. Each of us is on our own unique journey, and the moments that feel transformative to us are tied to our individual experiences, challenges, and aspirations. For some, a breakthrough might be a major career advancement or the achievement of a long-held goal. For others, it might be the resolution of a personal struggle, the healing of a relationship, or the discovery of a deeper sense of purpose. Regardless of the form it takes, a breakthrough is always meaningful because it represents growth, change, and the realization of potential. In the context of spiritual growth, breakthroughs often come when we surrender control and place our trust in a higher power. We may spend a lot of time trying to force things to happen or searching for answers outside ourselves, only to find that the breakthrough occurs when we let go and allow divine guidance to lead the way. This kind of breakthrough can bring a sense of peace, clarity, and alignment with our true path. It reminds us that we are supported by something greater than ourselves, and that the timing of our breakthrough is often beyond our control. Trusting in this process allows us to remain open to the guidance and opportunities that will lead to our breakthrough. While breakthroughs can feel exhilarating, it's also important to acknowledge that they don't mark the end of the journey. In many ways, a breakthrough is just the beginning. It opens the door to new opportunities, challenges, and growth. Once we've experienced a breakthrough, we are often called to continue pushing ourselves, expanding our horizons, and striving for even greater levels of understanding and achievement. Breakthroughs offer us the chance to step into a new phase of our lives, but they also come with the responsibility of maintaining the momentum and continuing to move forward. Breakthroughs also teach us the value of resilience. In order to experience a breakthrough, we must often endure periods of difficulty, frustration, and uncertainty. These experiences can be challenging, but they also help to strengthen us and prepare us for the moment of transformation. When we look back on our breakthrough moments, we can see that the struggles we faced were not in vain, they were a necessary part of the process. The obstacles we encounter along the way often contain valuable lessons that contribute to our growth, and without them we might not be fully prepared for the breakthrough when it arrives. In relationships, breakthroughs can take the form of deepened understanding, healing, or reconciliation. When we are willing to communicate openly, to listen with empathy, and to let go of past grievances, we create the conditions for a breakthrough in connection. This might involve overcoming misunderstandings, breaking down walls of defensiveness, or finding common ground after a period of conflict. Relationship breakthroughs can be some of the most rewarding because they bring us closer to others and foster a sense of unity, trust, and mutual respect. In these moments, we realize that the effort we've put into the relationship has not been wasted and that healing and growth are always possible. In the realm of personal growth, breakthroughs often come when we confront and overcome our own fears or self-imposed limitations. We all carry beliefs and patterns that hold us back, whether it's a fear of failure, a lack of confidence, or a belief that we are not worthy of success. A breakthrough occurs when we challenge these limiting beliefs and step into our full potential. This process requires courage, self-reflection, and a willingness to step outside our comfort zones. But once we break through these barriers, we experience a newfound sense of freedom and empowerment. Ultimately, breakthroughs remind us of our own resilience and potential. They show us that no matter how difficult the journey may seem, there is always the possibility of transformation and progress. Breakthroughs are moments of celebration, but they are also moments of profound realization. They reveal to us that we are capable of more than we ever imagined. Whether it's in our personal lives, our relationships, our careers, or our spiritual journeys, breakthroughs offer us the opportunity to step into a new chapter, one that is filled with greater possibility, growth, and fulfillment. A breakthrough is more than just a moment of achievement. It is a testament to our perseverance, our willingness to evolve, and our ability to trust the process. Breakthroughs remind us that no matter how long the road may seem, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. And when that light finally shines, it illuminates not only the path ahead, but also the strength we've developed along the way. Faith is the cornerstone of a peaceful, fulfilled life. It's the invisible thread that connects us to the unseen, the unknown, and the divine plan that is always at work, even when we cannot see it. Faith is about trusting something bigger than ourselves, believing that there is a greater purpose behind everything we experience, and knowing that we are always being guided toward our highest good. It's a deep inner knowing that no matter how challenging or uncertain the circumstances may be, everything will eventually work out as it's meant to. Faith isn't passive, it requires active participation. It's the belief that despite the external appearances of our current situation, there is something greater at work behind the scenes, something we can't yet see or fully understand. Faith asks us to hold on when things get tough, to trust when the future seems uncertain, and to keep moving forward, even when we don't have all the answers. It's about releasing control over the outcome and trusting that what is meant for us will come in the right time and in the right way. Often, faith is strongest in moments of doubt or fear. It's easy to have faith when things are going well, but the real test comes when life presents us with challenges. These are the moments when we must dig deep and remember that our circumstances are temporary, that there is a purpose behind every trial, and that we are being shaped and prepared for something greater. Faith doesn't eliminate the difficulties, but it gives us the strength to face them, knowing that we are supported and guided every step of the way. Having faith also means believing in our own abilities and trusting that we have what it takes to overcome whatever obstacles may arise. It's the voice inside that tells us we are capable, that we are worthy, and that we can achieve our goals. When we have faith in ourselves, we are more resilient, more confident, and more willing to take risks and step outside our comfort zones. We trust that no matter what happens, we will be able to handle it and grow from the experience. At its core, faith is about surrendering to the unknown and trusting that everything happens for a reason. It's a powerful force that enables us to stay grounded in the present moment, even when the future seems unclear. With faith, we can release the need to control every aspect of our lives and instead allow life to unfold naturally. We trust that we are being led in the right direction and that the universe is always working in our favor, even when things don't seem to be going according to plan. Surrender, like faith, is about letting go of the need to control, the need to know, and the need to be certain. It's about releasing the tight grip we have on our lives and allowing things to unfold as they are meant to. Surrender doesn't mean giving up, it means trusting in the flow of life and believing that we are being guided by a force greater than ourselves. When we surrender, we stop trying to force outcomes and instead allow the universe to work its magic in its own time and in its own way. Surrender requires us to release our attachment to specific outcomes. Often we become so focused on achieving a particular result or having things go a certain way that we close ourselves off to other possibilities. We try to control every aspect of our lives, thinking that if we just work hard enough or plan carefully enough, we can make everything happen exactly as we want it to. But life doesn't always work that way. There are forces at play that are beyond our control, and sometimes the best thing we can do is step back, let go, and trust that things will work out as they are meant to. Surrendering is not about passivity or giving up on our goals. It's about releasing the need to control every detail and trusting that what is meant for us will find its way to us. When we surrender, we open ourselves up to new possibilities, new opportunities, and new ways of thinking. We stop resisting the natural flow of life and instead allow ourselves to be guided by our intuition and by the universe. Surrender is a powerful act of trust. It's the ultimate expression of faith. When we surrender, we stop trying to force things to happen and instead allow the universe to guide us. We let go of the struggle, the resistance, and the fear, and in doing so, we create space for miracles to occur. Surrendering doesn't mean we stop taking action, it means we take inspired action, trusting that we are being guided every step of the way. It means we stop trying to control the outcome and instead focus on the present moment, trusting that the path will unfold before us as it's meant to. Surrendering also involves letting go of our ego's need for control and certainty. Our ego wants to know the outcome, wants to be in control, and wants things to go exactly as planned. But life is full of surprises, and often the things we think we want are not what's best for us in the long run. When we surrender, we release the need for everything to go according to our ego's plan, and instead we trust that the universe has a better plan in store for us. We let go of the how and the when and focus on staying open and receptive to whatever comes our way. Surrendering can be challenging, especially in moments of uncertainty or difficulty. It's natural to want to hold on tightly to what we know or to try to control the outcome of a situation. But true surrender comes when we release that need for control and instead trust that everything is happening for our highest good. It's about embracing the unknown and trusting that we are being led to something even better than we could have imagined. In moments of surrender, we often find that things start to fall into place effortlessly. When we stop trying to force things to happen and instead allow the universe to guide us, we open ourselves up to synchronicities, opportunities, and blessings that we may not have been able to see before. Surrendering allows us to step into a state of flow, where things unfold naturally and with ease. Surrender is an act of self-love. It's about trusting that we are worthy of all the good that is coming our way and that we don't need to force or control anything to receive it. It's about knowing that we are always supported, always guided, and always in the right place at the right time. When we surrender, we align ourselves with the flow of life and open ourselves up to receive the abundance, joy, and love that the universe has in store for us. In conclusion, life is a journey of faith, trust, and surrender. We are all part of a divine plan that is unfolding in ways we may not always understand, but when we lean into our faith, trust in the timing of the universe, and release the need to control every detail, we open ourselves to greater peace and fulfillment. Through faith, we discover the strength to navigate challenges, knowing that we are guided by a force much greater than ourselves. Trust teaches us to embrace the unknown, allowing life to flow naturally, while surrender liberates us from the pressures of forcing outcomes. God's plan is always working for our highest good, even when it seems hidden. Patience is key as we wait for the right moments to unfold, knowing that each delay is purposeful and aligned with our growth. Breakthroughs come when we least expect them, often after periods of waiting and trusting. The guidance we seek is always present, quietly leading us toward our best path. And in this process, we learn the power of letting go, of releasing our fears and worries and stepping into a space where miracles can happen. By trusting in divine timing, surrendering to the flow of life, and keeping faith in our hearts, we invite in peace, clarity, and the realization that everything we need is already on its way. All we have to do is trust, remain patient, and allow the universe to work its wonders in our lives. Stop scrolling. This moment is meant for you. You might not realize it yet, but the very fact that you are here reading these words means that God has something powerful to share with you right now. You may have spent time questioning your progress, wondering why things haven't worked out the way you expected. Perhaps you've asked yourself why it feels like everyone else is moving ahead while you seem to be stuck, waiting for something to change. But hear this, you were not delayed. God was preparing you for this moment. The journey you've been on, every struggle, every setback, every feeling of being held back has been part of a divine plan, a plan far greater than you can see with your natural eyes. What you thought was a delay was actually God's perfect timing, molding you, shaping you, and refining your soul for what's about to unfold in your life. Imagine for a moment the way a potter carefully shapes a piece of clay. The potter's hands mold it, turn it, and refine it, not because the clay is bad, but because the potter knows the masterpiece that lies within. God is your divine potter. He has been shaping you, building your faith, and strengthening your character, even when it felt like nothing was happening. God is preparing you for a greater purpose. Every delay, every moment of uncertainty has been a step towards your transformation. You have been equipped with everything you need for this very moment, even if it didn't feel like it at the time. Think about the seeds in nature. They don't grow overnight. They go through a process of being planted, watered, and nurtured. You too have been going through a process, and now it's time for you to bloom. The roots have been growing deep, and now the time has come for you to rise, stronger, wiser, and more equipped than ever before. You might feel like you've been stuck in a waiting period, but what if I told you this? The waiting was never wasted. God knew that in this season of preparation, you were becoming who you needed to be. The trials you faced were not meant to break you, but to build in you a resilience and faith that will carry you through the doors of your destiny. Right now, the shift is happening. You're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be. The doors that were once closed are now opening before you, because God has been laying the foundation for something incredible to manifest in your life. Now is the moment for you to step forward in faith, knowing that everything you have been through has been to prepare you for the greatness that is coming. Your breakthrough is not delayed. It is right on time, because God's timing is always perfect. So, stop scrolling and embrace the message that is before you. You were never delayed. You were simply being prepared. You are ready for this moment, and the best is yet to come. Trust that God has been at work in your life, and what you are about to experience will exceed your greatest expectations. Your moment is here, and it's time to step into your destiny. You're here for a reason, and this message is for you. If you've ever felt like time was passing you by, or that your efforts haven't been rewarded, today is the day you're going to see things differently. There is a divine message unfolding in your life right now, and it's one you've been waiting for, even if you didn't realize it. You've been questioning your purpose, your journey, or perhaps even the timing of everything in your life. But I want you to hear this clearly. You were not delayed. God has been preparing you for this moment. I know you've probably felt frustration. Maybe you've asked yourself why certain doors haven't opened yet, or why things seem to be moving slower than expected. Maybe you've compared your progress to others and wondered what you're doing wrong. But I want to tell you this. There is nothing wrong with you. You are exactly where you need to be. The delays, the waiting, the moments of uncertainty, they were all part of a process designed for you to grow. The wait wasn't wasted, it was preparation. There is a purpose in the waiting, even when it seems like nothing is happening. Picture a seed in the ground. It doesn't just sprout and grow instantly. There is a process it must go through, underground, where no one can see it. It's being nourished. It's growing roots, becoming stronger, even though it seems like nothing is taking place. This is exactly how your life has been. You've been in a season of preparation, and the time spent waiting was necessary for the roots of your faith to deepen, your character to strengthen, and your vision to become clearer. The process has been shaping you for the incredible things that are about to unfold in your life. God's timing is not like ours. We are conditioned to measure time by the clock, by how quickly things happen, but God's timing is beyond our understanding. When you feel like nothing is happening, know that it's often the most critical time of growth. God knows exactly what you need and when you need it. Every step, every season, every trial has been leading you to this moment of manifestation. What you've been waiting for is on its way, but before it can manifest, you must be ready to receive it. The delays weren't a setback, they were a setup. God was ensuring you were prepared for the blessings that are about to pour into your life. Think about the process of building a house. Before the house is built, there is groundwork that must be done. The foundation must be laid, the plumbing must be installed, the electrical wiring needs to be carefully placed, and this process takes time. But when the house is built and complete, it stands strong, ready to support a family, full of purpose and stability. This is how God works in your life. He is laying the foundation in you so that you can handle the blessings, the challenges, and the greatness that is coming your way. Just like the house needs a solid foundation, you need to be rooted in faith, strength, and clarity before your dreams can be realized. It might not always feel like it, but every step you've taken, every tear you've shed, every moment of doubt has been building you. You are being shaped and molded into the person who can carry the weight of your dreams. You are being prepared to not only receive your blessings, but also to handle them with wisdom, grace, and responsibility. The delays have been God's way of ensuring that you are fully equipped to step into the next chapter of your life. Without these moments of preparation, you might not have been ready to step into the magnitude of the blessing that is coming your way. Now, think about the moment a butterfly emerges from its cocoon. It doesn't break free immediately. It spends time in a confined space, struggling, stretching its wings, gaining strength. That struggle is necessary. If the butterfly were to be released too soon, it would not have the strength to fly. Similarly, there have been moments in your life where it felt like you were confined, like your potential was trapped. But that confinement wasn't to hurt you, it was to prepare you to soar. The struggle you faced has strengthened your wings. You are about to emerge, not just as someone who's endured, but as someone who is ready to fly higher than ever before. You may have questioned whether you're worthy of what's coming, or whether you're really ready, and the answer is yes. God has already equipped you with everything you need for this next season. The waiting was a time for you to grow in faith, to strengthen your spirit, and to prepare your heart for what's to come. Every time you felt like giving up, you didn't. Every time you pushed through the uncertainty, you were building your resilience. You have been through too much to be unprepared. This is your time. You are no longer in the place of waiting. You are in the place of becoming. The shift is happening now, and all the things that you've been praying for are about to unfold in your life. The promises that seemed distant, the dreams that seemed impossible, the blessings that felt far out of reach are about to manifest before your eyes. You are ready. You have been prepared, you have grown, and now it's time for the manifestation of everything that God has promised. The road wasn't always easy, but you've been strengthened by the challenges, shaped by the obstacles, and refined by the trials. Each moment of difficulty has been a building block for your destiny. You may not have seen it at the time, but everything you've gone through has been a preparation for the greatness that lies ahead. The time spent waiting wasn't just waiting. It was a season of refinement. When you look at your life, stop seeing delays. See preparation. See divine alignment. See the hand of God working in ways you couldn't understand at the time. Every struggle, every difficulty, every moment of doubt was part of a bigger picture. Now, as you stand on the threshold of your breakthrough, you can look back and realize that every delay, every season, every single moment of your journey was necessary to bring you to this very moment. The waiting has been worth it. Your preparation has led you here to the place where you can finally step into the fullness of what God has for you. All that has been hidden, all that you've been waiting for, is now ready to be revealed. The time has come for you to step into your destiny, knowing that every step you've taken has been guided by a divine hand leading you to this moment of manifestation. So stop scrolling and embrace this message. You are not delayed, you are being prepared. God has been working behind the scenes, preparing you for this very moment, and now that you are ready, everything is about to fall into place. Trust in the process. Trust that God's timing is perfect, and know that the best is yet to come. This is your time. Your season of preparation is over, and your season of manifestation is here. You might not fully understand it now, but every moment you've spent in uncertainty, every challenge you've faced, every tear that's been shed in the silence of your heart, these were not wasted. They were the stepping stones, the foundations of a journey that has brought you to a place where you are ready to embrace the fullness of what is about to come. God never leads you through something without equipping you for the journey ahead. You are equipped, you are ready, and you are more than capable of stepping into the destiny that has been planned for you. I know it might feel like things have been slow, that your efforts haven't yielded the results you hoped for, but understand this: God is always at work, even when you can't see it. There is no delay in your life, only divine preparation. The moments that you felt like nothing was moving forward were simply moments of building. Imagine a tree that grows deep roots before it rises above the ground. What you've been going through has been the root work, and now the time has come for you to rise. You've been nurtured, you've been pruned, and you've been prepared for a great harvest. We are conditioned to think of delays as something negative. When we don't see instant results, we tend to think something is wrong. But the truth is that God works in cycles, not on human clocks. He doesn't rush through his plan. He takes his time because he knows the end result will be far greater than what we can imagine. In every moment of waiting, in every moment of doubt, there is purpose. Every waiting season is a time to build your faith, deepen your understanding, and refine your vision. The preparation wasn't about you being insufficient. It was about God ensuring that when your moment arrived, you would be prepared to step into it fully and without hesitation. Think about the butterfly emerging from the cocoon. This is a process that cannot be rushed. The butterfly must struggle to break free, building the strength it needs to fly. If someone were to interfere with this process, the butterfly would not have the strength to take flight. Similarly, the struggles you've faced, the hardships, the trials, these have been the struggles that have been strengthening your wings. Without them, you wouldn't have the strength or the character to soar to the heights God has prepared for you. The very things you thought were setbacks were actually the forces that were pushing you toward greatness. Have you ever noticed how things often seem to happen in clusters? Sometimes you feel like everything is on hold, nothing is progressing, and then, suddenly, it all falls into place. That is the culmination of preparation. The moment everything aligns is not just a coincidence. It is the result of everything that's been happening behind the scenes. God has been aligning things in your life. Even when you couldn't see it, the delays were simply the space where everything needed to fall into place. Right now, you are stepping into a season where everything you've worked for is about to come to fruition. You've put in the work, you've fought the battles, and you've been faithful during the moments of uncertainty. Now it is time for you to receive the rewards. The manifestation of your desires is not something that will take forever. It is already in motion. Your breakthrough is not something that is distant or far away. It is on the horizon, ready to manifest in your life. But here's the thing, you must believe it. You must trust that everything you've been through was a preparation for this moment. The challenges you faced were not to break you, they were to build you. The doubts you wrestled with were not to make you question yourself, they were to deepen your faith. God has been building you up, even when you couldn't see it, and now you are standing at the threshold of the fulfillment of all that you have prayed for. You've already come so far, and yet there is still so much more waiting for you. Think about the story of Joseph in the Bible. Joseph was betrayed, sold into slavery, and cast into prison, yet each step of his journey was divinely orchestrated to prepare him for the moment when he would rise to power and save his family. In the moment, it must have felt like everything was falling apart, but what Joseph didn't know was that every step, every setback was positioning him for something greater. Your journey is no different. The moments that felt like setbacks were actually the moments that were positioning you for the blessings you are about to receive. God knows the desires of your heart, and He is aligning everything to ensure that those desires are fulfilled at the perfect time. But you must trust that His timing is not only perfect, it's exactly what you need. You may have questioned why things have taken so long, but I assure you that the waiting period has been necessary for your growth. God doesn't just give us the desires of our hearts, He prepares us to handle them. If you were given everything you wanted before you were ready, it could overwhelm you, or you might not be able to appreciate it fully. The preparation ensures that when your blessings come, you can steward them wisely and with gratitude. If you've been wondering why things haven't unfolded the way you expected, now you know. God was preparing you for this moment. He was getting you ready for the great things that are about to come into your life. You might not see it yet, but everything is lining up, and soon you'll look back at this season and realize that it was all worth it. The waiting wasn't wasted, it was purposeful. Think about the story of David in the Bible. Before he became king, he was a shepherd boy, overlooked and underestimated by everyone around him. But that time in the fields, the hours spent in solitude, the challenges he faced in the wilderness, they were all preparing him for his destiny. David's preparation wasn't immediate, it took time. And when the moment came for him to step into his calling, he was ready. You are no different. Your journey, no matter how long it may have felt, is leading you to your moment of destiny. The truth is, your life is not just about the destination. It's about the preparation. It's about who you become along the way. The delays you've experienced, the waiting you've endured, they have shaped you into the person you are today, a person who is ready for what's coming. So stop looking at your life and seeing delays. Instead, look at it as the preparation ground, the place where God was working, refining, and positioning you for the greatness that is about to unfold. You are ready, you have been prepared, and now you can step into the manifestation of all that God has planned for you. Your time has come. It's not a time to look back and wonder why things happened the way they did. It's time to look forward, knowing that everything that has transpired in your life has been leading you to this moment. The doors that once seemed closed are now opening. The opportunities that once felt distant are now coming into focus. The blessings you prayed for are coming to you, because God has been working behind the scenes, preparing you for this very time. So I want you to stop scrolling and truly believe this message. You were not delayed, you were being prepared. Everything you've gone through, every moment you questioned, every setback you faced, they have been part of the divine preparation for this moment. Your breakthrough is not far off, it's already in motion. Trust in the process. Trust in the timing. Your moment has arrived. You may not see it yet, but the life you've always dreamed of is closer than you think. It's not in the distant future, it's right here, just waiting for you to claim it. The waiting you've endured, the trials you've faced, the moments of uncertainty, they have all been carefully designed to bring you to this very point in time. You have been through so much, and yet you are still standing. You've made it through every challenge, every disappointment, and every setback. That alone proves how strong you are, how resilient you've become. God has not abandoned you, and He has certainly not forgotten you. There are moments in life where everything seems to slow down, where time feels like it's standing still, and we wonder why we're not seeing the results we expected. We compare ourselves to others and wonder why they seem to have everything together while we're still waiting for our breakthrough. But let me tell you something. The waiting is not a sign of delay. It is a sign of preparation. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. When you feel as though nothing is happening, remember that behind the scenes, the universe is aligning things for you in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Every prayer you've prayed, every tear you've cried, every moment you've spent wondering when things will change, those moments have not been in vain. God has been at work, positioning you for greatness. There is no such thing as a delay in God's plan. Every pause, every moment of stillness has been a part of the divine orchestration. When things don't seem to be moving forward, it's easy to lose faith. It's easy to doubt, to wonder if you're on the right path. But trust me when I tell you this, those moments of waiting are not punishment. They are preparation. God is working behind the scenes, weaving everything together, placing the right people, opportunities, and resources exactly where they need to be. All of this is coming together for your good. It's coming together for the moment that is about to manifest in your life. Take a moment to think about the times when things felt the hardest. The times when you felt like you were doing everything right, but still nothing seemed to fall into place. Those moments were not the end, they were the beginning. They were the moments that built your character, strengthened your resolve, and deepened your faith. You have been refined by fire, you have been tested, and you have been found worthy. The trials were not to break you, but to mold you into the person who is now ready to walk into the promises God has for you. Think about the butterfly again. Before it emerges from the cocoon, it goes through a process of transformation. It takes time, it is slow, but without that time, without that struggle, it would never be able to take flight. You too are in the process of transformation. It might feel like you've been stuck in a cocoon for a long time, but I promise you, this is the very stage where God is preparing you to soar. You've been waiting for your moment, and now it is here. It's not a moment in the distant future, it's happening now. The shift is already taking place. You are about to see everything you've prayed for come to fruition. The doors that were once closed are now wide open, and the path ahead is clear. All that is required from you is faith. Faith that everything you've gone through has led you to this moment. Faith that your breakthrough is already in motion. Faith that God is working everything out for your good, even when you can't see it. One thing I want you to remember is that the timing of God is always perfect. We as humans are often too quick to rush through things. We want instant results. We want everything to happen now. But God doesn't operate on our time. He operates on divine timing. And His timing is always perfect. There is no delay in God's plan. What seems like a delay to you is simply preparation. Everything that you are going through right now is a stepping stone to the life that you are about to live. The delays were never a setback, they were a setup for something greater. If we take a moment to look back at the lives of those in the Bible who experienced seemingly endless delays, we can see the divine truth in their journeys. Abraham waited years for the promise of a son. Joseph was sold into slavery and thrown into prison before rising to power. David was anointed king but had to wait for years before stepping into his destiny. These people didn't have it easy, but their delays were never defeats. They were necessary for their transformation, and they were necessary for them to fully embrace the blessings that were meant for them. They understood that what seemed like a delay was actually divine timing at work. You are no different. Your delays are not defeats. They are part of God's perfect plan for your life. Everything you've gone through has been for a purpose, and now that purpose is about to reveal itself in ways you never imagined. The doors that have been closed for so long are now opening. The people who doubted you will soon see your rise. The opportunities you thought were lost are now returning to you. The time has come for you to step into the life that has been waiting for you. But in order to fully embrace what is coming, you must first let go of the idea that you've been delayed. You must let go of the idea that you've been left behind. The truth is, you have been prepared. And now the harvest is coming. You have sown the seeds, you have watered them, and now the time has come for the fruit to manifest. The waiting is over. The time for you to step into your destiny has arrived. I know that it can be hard to believe when you're still in the waiting season. It can be difficult to see the bigger picture when you're in the midst of the struggle. But I assure you, every moment you've spent in the waiting room has been a part of God's perfect plan. You were not delayed, you were being prepared. And now that preparation is coming to fruition. The breakthrough you've been waiting for is closer than you think. In this moment, I want you to stop scrolling. Stop looking at what everyone else is doing. Stop comparing yourself to others. God has a message for you. He has been preparing you for something great. The life you've been dreaming of is not some far-off fantasy. It is already in motion. Everything you need is already being placed into your life. Your breakthrough is here. You just have to believe it. The waiting is over. The time to step into your destiny is now. God has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything to perfection, and now you are ready to receive the fruits of your labor. You are ready to step into the life that has been prepared for you. You are ready to soar. So, stop scrolling. Take a moment to reflect on how far you've come. Take a moment to thank God for every trial, every struggle, every delay, because those moments were never meant to break you, they were meant to prepare you. And now it's time for you to step into the life that is waiting for you. Your breakthrough is here. The waiting is over. The time has come for you to rise. Step into it. Step into everything God has prepared for you. It's time to receive it. It's time to claim it. And it's time to believe that your moment has arrived. The life you have longed for is already within your grasp. Everything you need has been placed before you, and everything you have experienced, every twist and turn, has led you here to this very moment. It's easy to feel like we are in a holding pattern, waiting for things to change, waiting for the breakthrough we have prayed for. But what if the very fact that you are still here, still moving forward despite everything, is proof that you have already been prepared for what is ahead? When you scroll through your feed and see others achieving, moving forward, living the life you wish you had, it's natural to feel as though you've been left behind. But I want you to understand something crucial today. What you perceive as delay is nothing but divine preparation. The fact that you have not yet received what you thought you should have by now is not a reflection of failure. It is a reflection of your readiness. God has been working in the background, molding and shaping you, preparing you for the blessing that is about to unfold in your life. The process is rarely visible to us while we're in the midst of it, and that can be discouraging. The things you think you need right now, today, might not be the things that will serve you most in the future. You might be desiring a door to open, but what you may not realize is that while you're waiting, God is opening your eyes to the lessons you need to learn before walking through that door. He is aligning everything, bringing the right people into your life, developing your character, and strengthening your resilience. You might be looking at your current situation and wondering, why hasn't it happened for me yet? And the answer is simple. You were never delayed. God was preparing you for this moment. He is not in a hurry. His timing is always perfect. What seems like a pause, what feels like a wait, is actually the moment where God is refining you, shaping you into the person you are meant to be in order to receive what He has for you. Think of an artist working on a masterpiece. The artist does not rush through the process. Every stroke, every detail is intentional, even if the observer does not see it immediately. Similarly, every step of your journey, even the waiting, has been intentional. You are being refined. You are being prepared for something far greater than what you can see in this moment. Your preparation period is not a punishment, it is a blessing. The lessons you have learned, the strength you have gained, and the faith you have built during this season of waiting will be the foundation for the breakthrough that is about to happen in your life. Think about the times when you were unsure, when you doubted whether you could continue, but you did continue. You endured. And now you are stronger than you were before. You are more capable than you realize. You are more than ready to receive everything God has for you. I understand how easy it is to feel like time is slipping away. The world around us is constantly moving, constantly changing, and we can feel like we are being left behind. But let me remind you that God is not in a rush. He is preparing you in the most perfect way. There are no mistakes, no missteps in His plan. Every detour you have taken, every moment you have questioned, has been a part of the greater design. He is not holding back your blessing. He is waiting for the right moment, and that moment is now. Imagine you are walking into a room that is dark. You are unsure of what lies ahead, but you trust that the light will eventually reveal itself. Just because you cannot see the full picture right now does not mean it's not already in motion. Just because the light is not shining brightly today does not mean it will not soon burst through the darkness. The delay you feel is simply the process of God aligning everything perfectly for your arrival. And when that moment comes, when the light finally breaks through, it will be a moment you will never forget. It will be everything you hoped for and more. So, stop scrolling. Take a moment to recognize that the waiting you have been experiencing has been far from wasted. It has been a time of growth, a time of change, and a time of preparation. You are not behind schedule. You are exactly where you need to be. Everything is coming together, even though you may not yet see it. Every prayer you have prayed, every dream you have held in your heart is on its way to you. It is all unfolding in perfect time. We often compare our journeys to others, but no one else's path is yours to walk. You have your own unique purpose, your own unique timing, and just because someone else's door opened sooner than yours does not mean you are forgotten. Your door will open at the perfect time, and it will be more beautiful, more powerful, and more aligned with your purpose than you ever imagined. Your waiting season is not wasted time. It is a season of growth, of learning, and of preparation. During this time, you have been changing, becoming the person who can carry the weight of the blessings that are coming your way. You are being prepared to receive more than you could have imagined. And when that moment comes, when everything shifts in your favor, you will see that every moment of waiting was worth it. This is not the end of your story. In fact, it is only the beginning. The waiting is over. The season of preparation has passed, and now is the time for you to step into everything you've been working for, everything you've been praying for. God has been aligning things in your life, positioning you for the moment you've been waiting for. Your breakthrough is at hand. The opportunities you've been longing for are about to present themselves, and when they do, you will know that every step you've taken, every moment you've waited, has been worth it. There is no such thing as wasted time in God's kingdom. Every second, every experience, every moment of doubt has been a part of your divine journey. What seems like a delay is simply God's preparation, and you are more than ready to step into the life you've been praying for. You were not delayed, you were being shaped. You were being prepared. And now you are ready to step into your destiny. When you finally see the results of your waiting, when the doors begin to open and the opportunities unfold, you will look back and realize that it wasn't a delay at all. It was simply the time it took for God to prepare you for the greatness He had in store for you. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And now your moment has arrived. So stop scrolling. This is your time. Your breakthrough is here. Your blessing is on the way. All that you've prayed for, all that you've worked for, is coming to fruition. It is happening now. You are not delayed. You are prepared. You are ready. Step into your future because it's already here. The journey you are on is not a race. There is no need to compare yourself to others. The life you are meant to live is unfolding at exactly the right pace, and every step has led you to this moment. You have come through trials, endured challenges, and faced moments of doubt, but that does not define you. What defines you is your strength to keep going, to keep trusting, to keep believing that what you have been waiting for will come to pass. God has been working behind the scenes, orchestrating events that will lead you to the moment of your breakthrough. This is not a coincidence. This is divine timing. You may not understand all the steps or see the full picture, but trust in the process. Every experience you have had, every season you have walked through, has been necessary for your growth. Even the moments when it felt like nothing was happening, God was preparing you in ways you couldn't see at the time. Every delay, every unanswered prayer, every door that closed was simply part of the preparation for something greater. It is so easy to fall into the trap of feeling behind, especially when it seems like everyone else around you is moving forward. It's easy to get caught in the spiral of comparison, to look at the success of others and wonder why it hasn't happened for you yet. But what if I told you that you are not behind? What if I told you that what feels like a delay is actually a time of divine preparation, a time when God is setting you up for something much bigger than you ever imagined? What if this waiting season is not about a delay at all, but rather the moment where you are being refined, sharpened, and made ready to receive the fullness of God's blessings? Think about the process of growth in nature. A seed planted in the soil doesn't immediately burst into a full-grown tree. It takes time, it takes nurturing, it takes preparation. And during that time, you cannot see the seed's progress, but underneath the surface, deep in the earth, something is happening. Roots are forming, the seed is being strengthened, and then, when the time is right, it breaks through the surface and begins to grow, reaching toward the sky. You too are like that seed. God has been planting you, nurturing you, and preparing you. And while it may feel like nothing is happening on the surface, trust that beneath it all, you are growing, strengthening, and becoming exactly what you need to be to step into your purpose. The moment you've been waiting for will come, but it will come at the perfect time, not a moment too soon and not a moment too late. God's timing is impeccable, and He is preparing you for the greatness that is about to unfold. This time of waiting is not a punishment, it is a gift. It is a time for you to grow, to become more rooted in your faith, and to prepare for the blessing that is coming your way. When that moment finally arrives, you will know that every step you've taken, every struggle you've faced, and every moment you thought you were delayed will have been worth it. In this moment, you may feel discouraged. You may be wondering why it hasn't happened yet. But I want you to understand that you are not forgotten. You are not left behind. You are exactly where you need to be. You are in the process of becoming. The waiting is not wasted. Every moment is a chance for you to build your strength, deepen your faith, and align yourself with the plans God has for you. The journey you are on is a divine one, and while you may not see the full picture, you can trust that it is unfolding just as it should. You are being shaped into the person who can handle the blessing that is coming your way. You are being prepared to step into the life you've prayed for. The struggle you've endured is not in vain. It is a refining process that is making you stronger, wiser, and more equipped for what lies ahead. God knows exactly what you need, and He knows exactly when you are ready to receive it. When that moment comes, you will look back and see that everything you have gone through has been leading you to this point. Every delay was a necessary part of the process, and now you are more prepared than ever to step into the fullness of your purpose. In times of uncertainty, it's easy to lose hope. It's easy to get caught up in the fear that maybe you've missed your opportunity, or that the door you've been waiting for will never open. But I want to encourage you to keep going, keep trusting, keep believing. You are not behind, you are not forgotten. God is preparing you for something amazing, something beyond your wildest dreams. And when the time is right, that door will open and you will walk through it, knowing that everything you have experienced up to this point has been a part of God's plan for your life. There are moments when it feels like the world is moving faster than you are. You might feel like you're standing still while everyone else seems to be advancing, reaching their goals and living their dreams. But what you may not realize is that God is working in you during this time. He is refining your character. He is strengthening your heart. He is preparing your mind to handle the success that is coming your way. The waiting is not wasted. It is a season of growth, a season of preparation, a season of becoming who you are meant to be. When the breakthrough finally comes, when the doors open and the dreams you've been holding on to for so long begin to materialize, you will see that the waiting was not in vain. You will realize that it was all part of God's perfect plan. Every moment of doubt, every moment of frustration, every moment of waiting was a necessary part of your journey. And now you are ready to step into the life you've been praying for, ready to walk into the destiny that has been waiting for you all along. So, I encourage you to stop scrolling. Stop comparing your journey to the journeys of others. Stop looking at the success of others and thinking that you've missed your chance. God's plan for your life is unique. It is designed specifically for you, and while it may feel like you are behind, you are exactly where you need to be. The breakthrough is coming, and when it does, you will know that everything you've gone through, every moment of waiting, was worth it. Trust the process. Trust God's timing. You are not delayed. You are being prepared for something greater than you can imagine. And when that moment comes, you will be ready to step into the life you were always meant to live. I see you waiting, wondering if it's all going to happen, wondering why you feel as if you're in a holding pattern while others seem to be moving ahead. But let me tell you this, your waiting is not a setback. It's not an indication that you're falling behind. It is divine preparation. What you see as delay, God sees as a process, a divine process designed just for you. And in the fullness of time, it will all make sense. Right now, there may be moments when you question your purpose. You might ask yourself, why does it seem like everyone else is achieving their dreams and I'm still here waiting? It's easy to look around and think that you're not where you're supposed to be, but the truth is you are exactly where you need to be. God's timing is perfect, and His ways are higher than our ways. When it feels like you are stuck, remember that behind the scenes, He is preparing you for what is to come. You may not see it now, but everything you've gone through has been a lesson. Every failure, every challenge, every delay has been an essential part of shaping you into the person you need to become. God has been strengthening you, teaching you, and equipping you for the moment when your breakthrough arrives. The breakthrough that you've been praying for is coming, but you are not yet ready for it. The purpose of this waiting season is not to punish you, but to refine you. It is a time of growth, a time to develop the qualities, the strength, and the resilience that you will need to carry the weight of your blessings. We live in a world that wants everything instantaneously. We have access to so much, and yet the true gifts in life don't always come quickly. The greatest things take time to develop. Consider the process of making wine. It takes years for grapes to mature into something that becomes fine wine. The grapes can't rush the process. They must go through every season, every step, to become the product that people will savor. Your life is much the same way. You may feel that you're waiting for your time, but in reality, you are being made into something extraordinary. Every moment of waiting is part of your transformation. It's in those moments of waiting that God is refining you, removing what doesn't belong, and preparing you to handle the greatness that is on the horizon. When you're in a period of waiting, it can feel as though time is standing still. You might question if things will ever change. But remember this, it's not about the speed with which things happen, it's about the depth of the preparation. God is preparing you for a future that will far exceed what you can imagine, but you must be ready to step into it when it arrives. That readiness comes from a deep and faithful trust in the process. It comes from understanding that every season, no matter how long it lasts, has purpose. God does not waste time. He does not waste the moments that seem like delays. He uses them to prepare you for a life that is beyond anything you could dream up on your own. You might be looking for the finish line, but God sees something greater for you. What He has for you is bigger than what you can fathom in this moment. And so, the waiting, the preparation, the refining, it's all necessary. I know it can be frustrating. You want to see the results now. You want to be in the place where you feel that your efforts have paid off. But let me ask you this. If you were to skip the preparation, would you be ready to handle the fullness of what is coming your way? If you had everything you've ever wanted right now, would you be able to carry the responsibility, the blessings, and the lessons that come with it? There is a reason for the wait. God is building something in you, something that will last, something that will withstand the test of time. The world might tell you that you should have it all now, that success should be instant, that you should be at the peak of your life's journey right now. But God's timing is different. He knows when you will be most ready, when you will be able to appreciate and steward the blessing He has for you. This time is not wasted. This is not a period of punishment. This is a period of preparation. And as you wait, God is working in you. He is shaping you. He is building your character, your resilience, and your capacity to hold everything He has planned for you. What feels like delay is not denial. What feels like waiting is actually a season of becoming. God is preparing your heart, your mind, and your spirit for the things that are coming your way. And when those things arrive, you will see that you are more than capable of handling them. You will see that every moment of waiting, every moment of doubt was necessary. You will see that God knew exactly what He was doing when He allowed you to wait, when He allowed you to grow, and when He allowed you to develop the strength to endure. In the moments when you feel like you are behind, remember that your journey is your own. There is no need to compare yourself to others. The time that they have spent on their journey is not the same time that you need. Your process is unique. Your destiny is different. And that's something to be grateful for. You are not in competition with anyone else. You are in partnership with God, and He is leading you exactly where you need to go. You might not understand all the steps, and that's okay. It's not about understanding everything now. It's about trusting the process, trusting God's hand in your life, trusting that He sees the bigger picture, even when you can't. Trusting that when the time is right, everything will fall into place. And when it does, you will know that you are never delayed. You are always being prepared for the moment you were destined for. So, as you wait, know that you are not forgotten. You are not being overlooked. God sees you. He knows your heart. He knows your dreams. He knows your struggles, your fears, your frustrations. And He is using this time to build in you everything you need to step into the fullness of your purpose. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. And when your moment arrives, when your breakthrough comes, you will look back and realize that every moment of waiting was worth it. This is not the time to give up. This is the time to trust. This is the time to lean into your faith and know that the delay is not a denial. The delay is divine preparation. It is God doing His work in you so that when the time comes, you will be more than ready to walk into the fullness of what He has for you. Trust the process, trust the timing, and trust the one who is orchestrating everything. The moment you've been waiting for is on the way. It may not be here yet, but it is coming. And when it does, you will know that everything you've been through has been leading to this moment, the moment you were always meant to step into. As you continue to wait, let your heart be at peace. It's easy to be anxious, to question whether God hears your prayers, or if the desires you've been holding close to your heart will ever come to pass. But hear this: He knows your heart, He knows the depth of your longing, and He is working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Every step you take in faith is a step closer to your breakthrough, even if it doesn't feel like it. When the seasons seem to drag, remember that there is purpose in every pause. This pause is not a pause of emptiness, but a pause of divine positioning. God is aligning you with the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances. You might feel alone in your waiting, but you are being set up for something greater than you can imagine. You are being prepared for a shift, a transformation, a time when everything will come together. While it might seem like a delay to you, it is in fact the preparation you need to succeed. It's as if you are being sculpted, carved, and shaped into something beautiful and strong. Like a diamond that must go through intense pressure to reach its full brilliance, you too are being refined in the waiting. And in those moments of doubt, let me remind you, God's plans are never thwarted. They are never delayed. What seems delayed is only the unveiling of something even better than you could have ever planned. When it feels like time is moving too slowly, trust that God is moving things around you, aligning events in your favor even though you can't see it yet. You may not be able to control the clock, but you can trust that God's timing is perfect. What you might be experiencing is a season of patience. And let's be honest, patience can feel like one of the most difficult virtues to cultivate. But in this season, patience is your ally. It is the space where you allow God to mold and prepare you. It is the ground where your trust in Him grows deeper, where your faith gets stretched. And during this time, you are developing the strength to hold on to what is coming, the strength to be ready when your breakthrough arrives. Sometimes it takes the slowing down to make you realize that everything you've gone through has purpose. You are not just walking through life aimlessly, you are being refined. Think of the seed that is planted in the soil. It doesn't sprout instantly, it is buried, hidden in the earth. But underneath the surface, something powerful is happening. The seed is breaking open, stretching, growing roots, becoming something that can stand tall. If the seed gave up during the darkness, it would never reach the light. The same is true for you. The process you are in right now is preparing you to emerge stronger, wiser, and more equipped for the life that is ahead. In every moment of stillness, in every moment of waiting, know that you are becoming. You are becoming the person who is ready for your next chapter. Each day, each step is an opportunity to grow, to learn, and to strengthen your heart. What feels like stagnation is in fact a powerful movement in your life. The movement is not always outward or visible to others, but it is deeply personal, internal, and spiritual. If you think about the stories of the great men and women in the Bible, you realize that their greatest achievements didn't happen in a rush. They happened after years of waiting, praying, and trusting. Abraham, for example, waited many years for the fulfillment of God's promise, and even in those years of waiting, God was preparing him. He was testing Abraham's faith, strengthening his character, and building trust in God's timing. The promise didn't come in his time, but it came in God's time, and it was more than Abraham could have imagined. You see, there is nothing that happens in your life by chance. Every delay, every detour, every disappointment is part of the grand design that God is weaving for you. What seems like an obstacle is actually an opportunity for God to reveal His perfect plan. You might feel stuck, but God is working in the unseen, bringing things together in ways you can't understand now. But when the moment arrives, you will know, without a doubt, that everything, every pause, every delay was necessary for you to step into the destiny He has for you. I understand the frustration you may feel, the frustration of seeing others move ahead while you seem to be standing still. But let me assure you, your path is unique. The way that God is leading you is different from anyone else's, and it is exactly how it needs to be. The lessons you are learning right now, the growth you are experiencing, are all preparing you for the perfect timing. When you are ready, everything will fall into place, and you will step into a season of fulfillment, success, and abundance. Patience doesn't mean inaction, though. It means trusting, praying, and believing even when the circumstances don't seem to align with what you've been waiting for. It means standing firm in your faith, knowing that every step, every moment of waiting is part of the process. You are becoming the person you need to be to handle what is coming. So when it feels like nothing is happening, remember that something powerful is at work inside of you. God is working on you, preparing you to hold the blessing that is coming. There is a peace that comes when you fully trust in God's timing. It is the peace of knowing that you don't have to rush, you don't have to force things to happen. When you trust God, you can rest. You can trust that He is in control and His plan is unfolding exactly as it should. You are not behind, you are not delayed, you are right where you need to be. You are being prepared, refined, and shaped into the person who will walk into their destiny at just the right moment. When you look back on this time, you will see that everything you've experienced has been building up to something greater than you could have imagined. The waiting will not feel like wasted time, it will feel like the crucial time you needed to grow, to learn, and to develop into the person who could receive and steward the blessings that God has in store for you. And when that moment comes, when everything falls into place, you will know without a doubt that God was preparing you the whole time. You weren't delayed, you were being shaped for something extraordinary. And in the fullness of time, you will see that this season was not one of waiting, it was one of becoming. So, stand firm, trust the process. God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating things that you cannot yet see. Your breakthrough is coming. You were not delayed, you were being prepared. Trust in His timing, trust in His plan, and watch as everything aligns perfectly in His perfect time. Remember that you are not stuck and you are not behind. Every moment of waiting is an essential part of the preparation that God is guiding you through. The seasons of pause, though challenging, are not wasted. They are filled with purpose and divine alignment. God is working in ways you cannot yet see, arranging everything around you so that when the time is right, you will step into the fullness of your destiny. Trust in His timing, trust in His plan, and have faith that every delay has been a part of the process of making you ready for the breakthrough that's coming. You are being shaped, strengthened, and refined for something far greater than you could imagine. Your moment is coming, and when it does, you will look back and realize that every moment of waiting, every step you took in faith, was necessary for the beautiful future that God has prepared for you. So do not lose heart. Keep moving forward with trust, with patience, and with the certainty that you are on the right path. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, and when it comes, you will know that you were perfectly prepared for it. You were not delayed. God was preparing you for this moment.